Man, what it do, YouTube? You know it's still alive, and we back with another one, man. And we gonna get right off into another Uncut Hoops video, man. And this is LeBron James' 2007 year. This is when he went to the finals, and we gonna get right into seeing what Uncut Hoops has to say, man. Let's do this. Make sure y'all drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let's do it.
At that moment, you know, my 7 years in Cleveland, I had some good years. Obviously, some great years. One was able to take the team to the NBA Finals.
Another struggle offensively. James way off the mark.
And I love that adjustment by Mike Brown, trapping him, being the aggressor against him.
There's that jump shot you wanted him to take.
Getting to the finals and losing, and then not getting back to the finals to get your get back is not a plus on your career. I'm sorry, it's not. 4-10 in the finals is not a good mark on your career. It's not. 6-6, 5-7, those are winning records. 4-10 is not a winning record.
Not that time.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Shaken up on the play and has to come out of the game. James for three.
But the way that he is being defended, they are daring him to shoot.
Man, the Lakers in 2008, 2009, and 2010 would have tore this team up if LeBron would have ever met him in the finals.
Jump shot.
Hey.
Orlando tore the Cavaliers up, and fucking Kobe and the Lakers dismantled Orlando in 2009.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
Bottom of your screen, definitely. Nobody argued about it.
Ben Simmons took a three.
All those right-handed push shots, but he is left.
Shoot, shot the gap over the top. Into his pull-up at 12 feet.
I didn't realize, I found this out the other day. LeBron has airballed 57 free throws in his career. That's insane, bro. 57 free throws is insane.
An air ball.
They're the same picture.
When it comes to every superstar in league history, they've all lost a series, had a bad game,
Facts.
and missed a game-winning shot.
Facts.
If you play basketball long enough, all those things are bound to happen. Now, when it comes to top-tier players, when they eventually do lose, how we gauge them isn't just by their loss, but how they played when they lost. For example, did you average 40 points per game, have an all-time series, and your team just wasn't good enough to win that series? On the other hand, did you underperform, underwhelm, shoot 35%, and also lose?
LeBron James fires away. The crowd getting on its feet. James for three. Won't go again. That pass deflected off the rim.
Smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food.
For a lot
A
of
used diaper with Indian food is crazy.
LeBron James sycophants, they'll admit 2011 vs. Dallas was an awful series. That loss was on LeBron James. But looking at prior to that series, they don't mention 07, 08, 09, or especially 2010. And one of the big reasons they don't is someone like Michael Jordan in his career never had as damn a stretch as LeBron James from 07 to 2011.
Facts.
So starting off in 2007, some big-time misses to debunk off the jump. This Cavaliers team in 07, they weren't some underdog Rocky Balboa.
No, they had a good team. Everybody tries to say that Cavs team was shit. They had a great team. And saying that this Cavs team around LeBron was shit is bullcrap.
A Cinderella team. This Cavs team, by all accounts, was a very good team that if things broke right, they could make the NBA Finals. And looking back at the old ESPN archives, out of the 10 expert panelists, 4 out of the 10 picked Cleveland had the best record in the East. Look at someone like Greg Anthony. Breakout year for the Cavs, the best chance to challenge Miami. Chris Broussard. The Cavs will approach 60 wins. Then Tim Legler. Cleveland could make the NBA Finals.
Facts.
Again, the Cavs...
Everybody was saying that they were going to win the finals. They were not an underdog.
At worst, were a top 3 team in the East, and depending on who asked, they're the best or second best. Now, with that being said, this Cavaliers team was not a great NBA team. Why they ranked that high is they played in the East.
That's facts. That is facts. The East at this point was soft as hell. Every time he got up against Boston, like we watched the Kevin Garnett one where in 2009 or 2008 and 2010, he says they just broke LeBron. And that's facts. They did. They broke LeBron's spirit.
At this point,
and then what happened in 2011? He goes to Miami.
was a complete and utter joke. As looking at the Cavs' route to the NBA Finals, it's as follows. First round, the Washington Wizards, no Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler, they won 41 games, even with those guys. The second round, the exact same story, a 500 Nets team that was going absolutely nowhere. And then conference finals, the Detroit Pistons, no longer had Ben Wallace, or Hall of Fame coach Larry Brown.
You suck!
Now, looking at the NBA Finals, Spurs vs. Cavaliers, let's be real. The Cavs weren't favored. They were not going to win this series. But here's the added detail nobody talks about.
You go back in time, actually, people thought they were going to win. People thought the Cavs were going to win this series. They were not an underdog. People thought LeBron and the Cavs were going to win this series. They thought the Spurs were not going to have enough to contain them, and they completely destroyed them.
Coming to this series, a sweep was completely off the table and a foreign thought. Yes, the Cavs were underdogs, but getting swept, that's highly unlikely. Look at the ESPN predictions. It's 5 games, 6 games, 5 games. You know, the Cavs will get beat, but they're not going to get swept. The main reason people thought this is the Cavaliers were an elite defensive team and a top-tier rebounding team with great post defenders.
Facts.
Seems you've been using your Discover cashback card to earn 5% cashback at restaurants all quarter. Now,
Facts. They did have a great. That's one thing that people never bring up when they say, "Oh, LeBron's Cavs team was shit." They were a great defensive team. What are we talking about? His teammates were great defensive players. They had a top 5 defense, I'm pretty sure.
A vast universe.
So, Jeff, they're a team that has slowly become one of the better defensive teams in the league.
Right, everybody talks about San Antonio, and rightfully so. But I love the idea of how good Cleveland is defensively.
Look, this is one thing about LeBron. When he doesn't have the ball in his hand, look what he's doing. He's just walking around, hands down. He's not cutting. He's not.
Rightfully so. But I love the idea of how good Cleveland is defensively and rebounding.
Man, get to the open floor.
Give a lot of credit to Mike Brown because last year I thought they were a bad defensive team, but they really sold out, made a commitment on the defensive end, and because of that, they are here.
Greg Popovich says that the Cavs are the most underrated defensive team in the league. Correct.
Exactly. They were a great defensive team.
Unlike the narrative of this Cavaliers team, they weren't some bum squad that had no strength.
Absolutely.
Their main strength was defense.
Facts. They were, I'm pretty sure if I remember correct, they were a top 5 defensive team in the league. And if you have a top 10 rated offense in the league and a top 10 rated defense in the league, like if you're top 10 in both, then like if you look at the stats of like who has won championships over the years, a lot of those teams are top 10 defense and top 10 in offense in the league. You know what I mean? And look, the Cavs they weren't some underrated, like extremely underrated underdog. Yeah, people thought the Spurs were going to win. Not everybody. A lot of people thought Cleveland was going to win this game or this series for sure.
In the mid-2000s, that was extremely vital. As looking at LeBron James offensively, he wasn't some monster, some dynamo, just taking over every single game like fans make you think.
No, not at all.
LeBron's run to the finals had good overall stats, but it wasn't dominant LeBron James going off, carrying every single game. The one game he did carry them, though, was Game 5 in Detroit. Just got to give it up to him. That game was fantastic.
48 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 29 points in the fourth quarter and overtime. Great game. Like I said, like in my other videos, like I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm actually a LeBron fan. I just don't like the delusion that people put out there and push out there this fake narrative.
An all-time great carry job. But looking at the entire run, that is the exception to the overall rule. As looking at LeBron versus Eastern Conference, 9 total games at 25 points or fewer. They have those games.
Oh shit, 25 points or less.
Games had a 5-4 record. And look at those. The Pistons, they lost by 3. 18 versus the Nets.
Oh, and the Cavs were just so shitty. He only scored 19 points and they still only lost by 3. But the Cavs are so garbage.
Again, lost by 9. And 10 versus Detroit and only lost by 3. The biggest myth of this Cavaliers team this run to the finals is that LeBron James every single game was carrying them on both ends. Again, Game 5 was fantastic, an all-time great game. But that game was a Game 5.
Facts, you got to give him the respect for that.
To make the NBA Finals, you also had Game 6. That game, LeBron James shot 3 for 11.
3 for 11, 20 points on 27% field goal shooting.
And
That's
what
bad.
happened? They won by 16 points, blew Detroit out of the building.
You saw after his great 48-point game in Game 5. Of course, Game 6 he didn't have to score because his teammates did the job.
What did you just say?
His teammates did the job. What did you just say?
Didn't have to score because his teammates did the job.
Say it again to my face.
He didn't have
Say
to
it again to
score
my
because his
face. It's
teammates did the job.
crazy.
If you look at this Cavs defensive ranks, they were an elite defensive team, even compared to the best teams in the postseason.
Facts,
Opponent's field
100%.
percentage, they ranked first. Opponent 3 percentage, they ranked fourth. Opponent's points per game, also first. Defensive rebounds, second. And defensive rating, again,
Second. So they were the second best defensive team. They weren't top 10. They weren't even top 5. They were top 2 in defensive rating. They were top 2. This was a great team. And people try to make it out to like this Cavs team wasn't great. Like,
second. So with that context in place, look at Game 1 of the NBA Finals in San Antonio. In LeBron's NBA Finals debut, it was a pretty abysmal start. This guy on the field to start the game was 0 for 8, had more turnovers than made field goals.
first 25 minutes, you only had 4 points and 0 for 8. That's terrible.
It was a comedy of errors. And here's the funny thing. Despite LeBron being a net negative, being atrocious, the Cavs came in the third quarter only down by 5 points, which once again proves this team's calling card was their defense,
Facts.
not LeBron's offense. And speaking of LeBron's offense, heading to the fourth quarter, it's disgusting. 8 points, 2 of 12 shooting, 5 turnovers with a negative game score.
What if I told you HPV vaccination was for men?
4 points in the first 25 minutes of a finals game.
If you're sexually active.
We've seen Kobe have some rough finals games. You know what I mean? Game 7 of the 2010 finals against Boston was a rough game for Boston and the Lakers. Nobody was like, the shooting was not on that game. The defense was on point. And people have rough games. Game 7 of the 2010 NBA Finals was terrible for Kobe. But I've never seen Kobe score 4 fucking points on 0 of 8 shooting in 25 minutes of a ball game. Never in my life have I seen that.
James for 3.
Look at the final result, and you can't argue with Tony Parker.
James.
See, this is anytime I see LeBron start to dribble at the top of the key and shit. In my other video, I said downhill, he's unstoppable. But as soon as he starts to dribble and shit, he looks clumsy and he just tries to put his shoulder down and run through people.
Argue with Tony Parker.
What does he do right here? He tries to just run through these people. And when he can't, he tries to pass it out.
James. Shot clock at 2. Offensive foul. James on a pull-up.
And defensively, that's the reason why they're only down 4 in this first half. They've gotten it done.
LeBron has struggled against good defensive teams that slow the offense down to a half-court offense in his career. Because in the open court, I don't know that we've ever seen somebody like LeBron in the open court. How big and strong and high he can jump, that's facts. In the open court, LeBron is a beast. Going downhill, ball on the move, that you don't want to get in his way. You know what I mean? But as soon as the ball is slowed down and it's in a half-court offense, he struggled in his career.
Defensively and giving themselves a chance.
Got to come in and pinch and get the free throw line rebound.
LeBron James dribbled it off his leg, but still looking for his first field goal.
Third quarter, and he's still looking for his first field goal.
James for 3.
Hey, LeBron. Ben Simmons is here. We're all good.
When it was all said and done, the Cavs in Game 1 only lost by 9 points, despite LeBron James doing nothing offensively. Look at these Game 1 stats. 14 points, 6 turnovers, 25% shooting.
You've never seen Kobe or MJ fucking have a game like that in the finals. I'm sorry, you haven't. You have never seen fucking Kobe shoot or score 14 points in the finals. It's never happened. Unless he got, I can't think of a single NBA Finals series game where Kobe got hurt halfway through and had to go out or anything. Like, that's the only time I can imagine Kobe Bryant only having 14 or Michael Jordan only having 4. Michael Jordan was sick to his bones literally throwing up, sweating, sick as fuck, and had a great game in the finals. The flu game.
Game score of 5. And Michael Jordan's finals career's lowest scoring game was 22 in 6 trips to the NBA Finals.
Exactly.
LeBron's first game ever already topped that with a 14-point dud. And speaking of Michael Jordan, when it comes to his pre-championship days, 85 to 90, those games, series, and years are nitpicked unlike anything I've ever seen. But here's the problem. Michael Jordan's lows in that...
Yeah, that's one thing they always try to knock on MJ. It's a knock on MJ for not winning anything from 1985 to 1990 until 1991. So it's a knock on MJ for not winning anything for 6 years, but it's not a knock on LeBron for not winning anything for almost 10 years. LeBron came in the league in 2003. He didn't win a championship till 2012 on a super team. That's not a knock on his career, but it's a knock on MJ's career. I don't think it, you know what I mean? Like, that's the shit that pisses me off. It's the hypocrisy in it.
Stretch aren't even lower than LeBron James in his one single game versus the Spurs. As looking at pre-championship Jordan, his lowest game score was 8.4. LeBron this game at 5.0. Jordan's worst shooting night, 30%. LeBron this game, 25. MJ's lowest point total, 15. LeBron right here scored 14. And I can
that wasn't in the finals either. Those were Michael Jordan pre-finals. You never seen Michael Jordan get in the finals and shoot like this.
I already gave the excuses. Well, LeBron was only 22 years old. The Spurs were a great team. He was getting double teamed. And that right there, a big-time myth for this series. In games 1 through 4, the Spurs' main tactic was going under screens and making LeBron...
Yeah, they let him shoot, same as the Celtics did. Let LeBron shoot. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Rondo, they have all said it. Ray Allen, they have all said it. Their strategy in 2010 was to break LeBron and let him shoot the ball. Slow down the offense in the half court and let him shoot. And it worked.
James into a jump shooter. Want to shoot threes? Go ahead and take it.
Exactly.
The 18-foot jumper, heck, even take that. From 16 feet, go ahead, knock yourself out. LeBron's big-time flaw right here is he had no jumper. So double teams, you don't really need them.
He fixed that a little bit later in his career. I will give him that. His jumper got better.
The only time LeBron James got doubled was on pick and rolls when they blitz hard and hedge really far out. But here's the thing. That tactic, that strategy was not LeBron James centric, as for every ball handler, the Spurs did the exact same thing. So once again, LeBron this series wasn't getting double, triple teamed.
No.
It was mano a mano, and he was failing over and over and over again.
Kobe has faced the most double and triple teams out of any player in NBA history. If you look it up, people have went through. Nobody has been double teamed or triple teamed more than Kobe Bryant.
James, hop step, that's a two-pointer. James on a pull-up. That one won't go. James the jumper. James steps back, he'll try a three-pointer.
See, in the slowed down half-court offense, he struggled. Even later in his career, he's always struggled in the half-court offense without another primary ball handler and shit that really is good. Like, once he got to Miami, he had D. Wade who could get the ball moving in the half-court. You know what I mean? Bosh, he had, like, in the half-court, LeBron needs open court and move. The ball needs to be moving. If the ball's moving, he's dominant. One of the most dominant we've ever seen in the open court.
Bowen gives him some room. And James can't connect.
And I love that adjustment by Mike Brown. Trapping him, being the aggressor against him.
There's that jump shot you wanted him to take, but not that time. Well, Verajao shaking up on the play and has to come out of the game. James for three.
Jesus.
It's totally tied.
It's not like watching this is bad, man. Like I remember, like I said, I was watching the other side. Like I was watching the Lakers and shit. So I didn't watch LeBron as much until Kobe got older and retired, and then I started watching LeBron on Miami and shit. But like you go back and watch these series, like these do not look good at all.
Case. The reason Cleveland lost this series wasn't due to bad defense, bad depth, or even bad coaching. While they lost, LeBron James could not make a simple jump shot in any game 1 through 4.
No.
And if you say LeBron was double team, triple team routinely, I just gotta tell you, either 1, you're 12 years old, or 2, your memory sucks. Now, looking back at game 1 of this series, the Cavaliers in game score were as follows. Boobie Gibson, Drew Gooden, Pavlovich, Varejao, then LeBron James.
Damn.
LeBron in game 1 for his own team ranked 5th in game score.
That's terrible, dude.
And at both rosters, he ranked 9th. So looking at game 2 in San Antonio, at the risk of being redundant, LeBron in the first half again had a stinker for the ages. No impact whatsoever, an abysmal first half, and even third quarter. And looking at LeBron's finals debut, the first 7 quarters, a total 10 made field goals and 11 turnovers. That right there is absurdly bad. Now for LeBron in this game too, the overall numbers will get a little bit of a bump in a fourth quarter that wasn't even close. What I call this is a stealth stat pack. As looking at LeBron's stats down by 29 points, 15 points, 5 of 13 shooting. How they ended, much better and looked semi-decent.
Facts.
But here's the catch. When those points came, when the game's out of reach, out of hand.
James gets inside.
Down by over 20.
And lays it in.
And I like Greg Popovich
Down by almost 30.
keeping Bowen in there on James to make it tough.
Parker and Duncan might get a long rest here in the fourth quarter. LeBron James struggling once again. A big bit of gratitude to Captain Greg and all this here in the first.
See, downhill like that, before the half-court defense gets set up and they got to really go into a half-court offense, he's dominant. But as soon as that you got to set up in that half-court offense, man, he struggles. He really does because the ball's not moving. And when the ball's not moving and you got to create your own offense, it's a lot harder for LeBron.
2 games. Cleveland's
He didn't have that footwork and that handling like fucking Kobe and MJ did in the half-court offense to be able to make his own shots and shit like that.
Quarter. Again, granted big leads from San Antonio. James a 3.
Now for game 3 finally in Cleveland down 0-2, lose this game, the series is over. And LeBron in the first half, given credit, was slightly better. 9 points, 4 turnovers, 38% shooting. Again, not fantastic, but compared to game 1 and game 2, it's God tier stuff.
God tier when he only had fucking... He said it's God tier stuff and he only had fucking 9 points.
Again, not fantastic, but compared to game 1 and game 2, it's God tier stuff. And again, like we see over and over again, despite LeBron offensively being kind of mid, even bad, the Cavs at halftime down by 2 points.
Down by 2,
Once
exactly.
again, this Cavs
Close game, even though LeBron's having a terrible game, but this Cavs team was washed. They were trash. They were a terrible team. He drugged them to the finals. Stop it.
team barometer wasn't LeBron James or his scoring. Their barometer was their defense, most of their post defense, and their rebounding. As versus the mighty Spurs, even LeBron playing awful, they're still in the game.
So you're playing 5-on-5 and understand that these guys are more than capable of holding the fort down.
Parker with a hand in his face. Pavlovich again, hard drive to the basket. Oh, he puts it in. Cavs have led by as many as 7. Gooden falling away.
The role players were going to step up, and they certainly have in the first half.
Stop.
Parker deflected by Gibson. Gooden, nice pass ahead. 2-on-1 break. Pavlovich, oh, nice feed.
I thought they were trash. Come on.
And speaking of the powerhouse offensive Spurs, they didn't crack 50 points in this game until 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Exactly.
What does that do to? Not LeBron James, but guys like Drew Gooden, Varejao, and Big Z. And I get it, they're not household.
Oh, Big Z. I forgot he was on this team too.
Names marquee players, Hall of Fame guys. But this series, this game, the entire playoff run, on defense, they're fantastic. And looking at someone like Tim Duncan in Game 3, for Tim Duncan standards, was absolutely abysmal. And for the entire playoff run, looking at the first, second, and third round, Tim Duncan's worst series.
I'll make you a bet. Try Whisper Flow once.
How many rings does Tim Duncan have? 5 or 4?
Versus Cleveland.
Where he could go quick. Duncan goes quick to the hole. Can't get it to fall, not very often. Duncan spinning against Ilgauskas.
I tell you what, Drew Gooden.
Look, this is because of the good defense of the Cavs, not because Duncan was a bad player.
It's as big a key as anybody as to why the Cavs are in the finals. The way that he played in the playoffs, the Eastern Conference, really was great basketball and set the tone on the defensive end.
Makes his move across the lane. Tough shot, defended well on the shot clock. Duncan spinning.
I'm not gonna lie, that looked like a foul, yeah.
Ginobili lobs it into Duncan, knocked away by Snow. Duncan back.
Look, Duncan was getting frustrated with this Cavs defense, but this Cavs team was washed up, I thought. One of the best power forwards we've ever seen pick up a basketball was getting frustrated with how good this Cavs defense was.
Inside, stolen by the Cavs.
Now, for the Spurs in the fourth quarter, the back half of the fourth quarter, they were absolutely abysmal. The final 6 minutes, only one made field goal.
Damn.
Until the Cavs locking the Spurs down, LeBron late in the game had a chance to win this game and even send it to OT.
Damn, Ginobili was having a terrible game. 0 for 7 with 0 points. Ginobili.
5.5 remaining. They're out of timeouts. James on the drive, fires a three. Off the mark. Ilgauskas tips it. Ball knocked loose, and that'll do it.
So LeBron right there in game 3 in the fourth quarter, not his
bad shot too. That wasn't even a good shot. You could have tried. You had enough time to try to see. This is where like footwork and being able to put the ball on the ground would have come in handy. See, Kobe's ass right here would have put the ball on the ground, came up, pump fake, spun, got the pump fake, spun. You know what I mean? He had enough time. He had 4 seconds. The ball was in the air with 4 seconds left. So like, what did he have when he had 5.5 seconds? You had enough time to do more than just catch the ball and chuck up a terrible three-pointer shot. You know what I mean? Like, you could have grabbed it, put the ball on the ground for 1 or 2 dribbles, pump fake, spin, then get a clean shot. Like,
5.5 remaining. They're out of timeout.
He put the ball on the ground once and then chucked up a terrible shot.
James on the drive, fires a three.
And yelled like he wanted the foul.
Off the mark. Ilgauskas tips it. Ball knocked loose, and that'll do it.
Yeah, look, he was complaining. He wanted the foul. That wasn't a foul, LeBron. Nobody was even close to you. The player was literally fucking... Look how far he is away.
5.5 remaining. They're out of timeouts. James.
Look, he's 2 foot away from you, LeBron. Where's the foul?
Fires a three.
Stop.
Off the mark. Ilgauskas tips it. Ball knocked loose, and that'll do it.
So LeBron right there in game 3 in the fourth quarter, not his best showing. And missing that game-tying 3, honestly, not that big of a deal. The biggest problem in game 3 was LeBron James had shades of 2011 versus Dallas, as it wasn't just turning the ball or missing shots, it was also passive, shaken, and had zero confidence in his outside game. In game 3, that was the storyline.
Already with 8 of the 14 San Antonio points as we come up on a minute remaining. Off shot. Crowd trying to urge on James. Shooter. Doesn't take many.
Shoot the jump shot. You work too hard. This is the biggest stage.
Exactly.
Don't leave here thinking I should have shot.
Third quarter.
Extremely passive aggressive, man. He was not even coming down with the initiative, it seemed like.
As soon as he gets the rebound.
Because he was playing so bad before this that like you start to lose that initiative. Like if you see it in the later games against Boston in 2010, where he was having such bad games throughout the whole series that like you just see like the life come out of him and he just turns into a passive player where he's just going through the motions.
I would rather see LeBron James attack in transition versus bounce it out. And then when he comes off the pick and roll, if he's open, shoot it.
You get back and try to get another stop.
64-57. Yes, that's a fourth quarter score. James goes to the basket.
Make him shoot it up over the top.
I'm not gonna lie, he might have got fouled there.
James goes
he does get kind of clobbered here. This probably should have been a foul.
Basket.
He does get kind of hit pretty hard there.
Make him shoot it up over the top.
As much as I give shit LeBron for complaining and flopping and shit, he probably was fouled there. That looked like a pretty hard hit.
James looking.
flaw, but the way that Bruce Bowen is defending you at the foul line, at some point you have to shoot that jump shot.
So game 3 right there in Cleveland, extremely winnable. But LeBron James over and over again, passing up open jump shots, really great looks to teammates who weren't even really open. Now, one thing I do want to highlight yet again is the Cavaliers' defense. As the Spurs this game only scored 75 points out of the entire season, 101 games, their lowest of the season.
Yeah, but you got to remember back then, in this time in this NBA, it was common to score 75 to 95 points, 100 points or less. It was not like, yes, there was games where people were dropping 110 and 120. Of course it happened. But a lot of times back then, like games were 80, 90-point games. They weren't 120, 130, 140, 150 even like they are today. The pace was so slowed down in between 2000 and 2010.
If you look at the championship Spurs in the mid-2000s, 03 to 07, their lowest scoring games were as follows. Number 1, Game 4 versus the Pistons. Number 2, Game 5 versus the Lakers. And number 3, this Game 3 versus the Cavaliers.
So what'd you miss before the world ended?
I missed the grocery store.
You don't have any banana nut muffins, do you?
He said, I missed the grocery store.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
So for Game 4 in Cleveland, spoiler alert, the Cavaliers did not win this game. LeBron yet again did not play well.
11 points. 11 points in the first 3 quarters of the last. This is the final game of your fucking NBA Finals hopes. And you only are going out 5 for 20 on with 11 points, 3 turnovers, 1 for 4 at the free throw line. Like, at least you got to make your free throws if you're playing. Because, look, you would have had 14 points instead of fucking 11.
11 points, 520 shooting, 3 turnovers with a negative game score. And despite LeBron James being so awful, so tragic, the Cavaliers still in this game. They could win the game.
Well, he had 6 assists. That was the one good part of this game.
To Bowen. Ginobili for 3. It's good. Manu Ginobili.
Look at this. 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it's 69 to 66. Like, you do not. These are second quarter scores nowadays. People are in the early 60s and stuff like that in the second quarter nowadays, in the beginning of the third quarter. They are not almost at the end of the fourth quarter and still only have 66 points. That's not happening nowadays.
He has 19. James.
This is back when defense was actually played, though.
In and out. Duncan inside. Alberto. Foul. Count it and 1. Execution down the stretch has been a big problem for the Cavs in the finals. Duncan takes it away from James.
You just got stripped by a big man, LeBron. This is why I say you have no handles. Like, I loved watching LeBron play on the Lakers. It was great, you know what I mean? We had, like, ever since Kobe was gone, it was the first time the Lakers were competitive again. But anytime LeBron would get the ball and start dribbling between the legs or behind the back or trying to do some dribble moves, I'm like, oh boy, here we fucking go.
Execution down the stretch has been a big problem for the Cavs in the finals.
Stop it. Tim Duncan just picked your pocket, LeBron.
Duncan takes it away from James. Alberto gets inside, banks it in.
In the plays on both ends of the floor.
James at 3, puts it in. Ginobili for 3, short. James.
Oh my God.
Looking to go off the floor before he had control.
That's a close game in the finals, a minute and a half left, and you just lose it like that. That's terrible.
The ball. Ginobili gets to the rim, banks it in. Manu Ginobili makes it.
You could see he was just going through the motions. He knew the writing was on the wall. He wasn't winning. He was just going through the motions. He didn't have. Once the writing was on the wall, he gave up. You know what I mean? He didn't have that same initiative.
Think about how many weapons the Spurs have.
James misses the 3. Ginobili the rebound and dribbles it out.
So LeBron right there for the 4th straight game, an absolute dud and a terrible showing. For his first finals, it was abysmal. And look at Game 4. LeBron's game score ranked 3rd on his own team, and for the entire game, ranked 6.
Jeez.
Like I said earlier, when a player loses a series, it's not just they lost the series, it's how bad they played or how good they played. That's the added context that makes all the difference. And still looking at LeBron James, again, this dude's jump shot was completely broken. This series versus the Spurs.
Oh my God. 17% on jumpers, 11% on 8 to 16 feet from the rim, 16 to 20. Oh my God. Mid range, 14%. Holy crap. That's insane.
17.8%. 8 to 16 feet, 11%, 16 to 24 feet, 15%.
Holy crap.
Mid range, an abysmal 14.8% shooting.
Just past the midway point of the first. James. Getting no Larry Hughes for the second straight game. Another struggle offensively. James way off the mark.
But the way that he is being defended, they are daring him to shoot jump shots.
Look, they're literally, the announcers back then were literally saying they're daring him to shoot jump shots. 11 second chance points.
James, tough shot.
Coming off LeBron misses, his people are grabbing rebounds, getting 11 second chance shots.
Game tonight. Just need to win tonight, and then we'll try again Sunday. James can't get it to fall.
Look, so that goes as another second chance shot. Like, they just getting his rebounds. That's crazy.
4 for 15 from the field. His perimeter shot has just not fallen in the finals.
Damn, they were literally just daring him to shoot the ball. Like, okay, we know you're going to beat us downhill, so we're going to get it into a half-court offense, and you're going to have to shoot your way out of this ball game.
You can count on.
Insane.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
For LeBron James playing with so-called bums, in 2 out of the 4 games, those bums had a higher overall game score than LeBron James.
For real.
That right there is pretty shocking. But looking at this stat, it's even more appalling. In Michael Jordan's pre-championship career, 85 to 90, only 6 teammates ever had a higher game score in a single game in the postseason. 85 there was 0, 86 there was 1, 87 0, 88 1, 89 4, 1990 also 0. LeBron in this series alone, game 1 and game 2, equaled that mark for Jordan for an entire 6 years.
Damn.
And here's some more added context. Michael Jordan, before the championships, when he lost those series, how he played was up to standard.
Yeah, bro. Literally, Larry Bird won the series, but he literally says, like, Michael Jordan scored 62 trying to drag that team to a win. Literally said that wasn't Michael Jordan out there. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan wasn't having bad games. They just wasn't a good enough team yet. Michael Jordan was already out there having great games.
First great defensive teams. 85 versus the Bucks, they were a top 2 defense. Jordan that series, 29 points per game, 44% shooting. Versus Boston, the best defensive team in the league, 44 points per game, 50% shooting.
That's when he
The
dropped
next year
60.
versus Boston, also highly impressive, 37 points per game, 41% shooting. Versus the Bad Boy Pistons for 3 straight years, a top 2, top 3 defensive team, some would say best defensive team, Jordan at worst averaged 27. Again, if you want to knock Jordan for losing, go ahead and do that. Here's the one thing I want you to do. Be consistent with LeBron James and Michael Jordan. If you're going to knock Jordan for losing, also knock LeBron for losing. In this case, do it more so, as LeBron's over-level play was far, far inferior to Michael Jordan, even when he lost.
That's fact.
You ain't lying.
100%. Michael Jordan didn't win nothing for the first 6 years of his career. That's correct. LeBron didn't win nothing for almost 10 years, 9 years. And his playoff runs before that were not great.
And look at LeBron's game score for this series, a staggering 10.6. For superstar standards, all-NBA standards, heck, even all-star standards, that's a terrible series.
Facts.
And here's a double standard. LeBron playing that bad and losing for LeBron James sycophants is never held against him. Michael Jordan, he loses and plays well, that is always held against him. Look at Michael Jordan's series losses versus the Bucks, Celtics, as well as Pistons. This guy's game score every series is double LeBron James versus the Spurs.
Damn.
Like I said earlier, and I'll say over and over again, it's not just that you lose a series, it's how bad or how good you played.
Yeah,
For
people lose series. Like, look at 2008 Lakers versus Celtics. You know what I mean? The Celtics beat the Lakers, but it was a good series still. People lose. It happens. But when you play so bad and you're the only reason your team loses, that's where the problem comes in.
MJ, when he lost, he still played great. When LeBron lost, he played abysmally bad.
Yeah.
As looking at his overall numbers, 22 points per game, 5.8 turnovers, 35% shooting, 20% from three, and from the line, under 70%.
Terrible.
I love this guy, man. That's what I'm talking about. Antonio with great ball distribution.
I've always said LeBron has an ugly shot. He really does. His shot is really ugly.
Three.
The way he moves it, like from one side to the other, like he starts on this side and then goes to that side. Like, it's an ugly shot.
I'm talking about. Antonio with great.
He starts way over there instead of in the middle. It's because he's so bulky, I think.
Ball distribution. Already with 12. Would have gone to somebody else. And then, after having the chance to examine.
That's getting it done, and this team has a bright future.
He stinks, and I don't like him.
That right there is terrible. On the biggest stage, inexcusable. But here's the added detail. If you look at Michael Jordan's absolute worst scoring series and shooting series, those series don't rank higher LeBron James in the 07 finals. That's how bad he was and how inferior he was to any version of Michael Jordan. And again, I don't care how old you are, how young you were, how many years you played. If you play that bad, as a black mark on your resume, you can never erase.
Exactly. No matter how great, LeBron is a great player. He's one of the all-time greats. I'll never take that away from him. He's top 10 of all time. But he's not the GOAT. You cannot have marks on your career like this and be the GOAT. Along with the flopping. The flopping is one of the main reasons I could never have him at 1 or 2. One of the main reasons, along with a lot of other reasons, but it's the flopping is literally one of the main reasons.
And look at something like turnovers. LeBron this series at 5.8. In games 1 through 4, had at least 5 every single game. In Michael Jordan's career, not once, they have 4 straight games of 5+ turnovers. His longest streak was only 3. And look at that average, 5.8, the second worst.
Early morning at the courts, and we're already focused.
5.8 is insane.
Felt that one.
In finals history.
Now, here comes James. Hooked away.
That's a lot of turnovers every game.
By Ori on the guy I am defending.
Especially for not even being a primary ball handler. You weren't the point guard bringing it down every time. You're not the primary ball handler. And you have that many turnovers, that's insane.
Bad pass stolen by Ginobili to them in the Utah series in both the first 2 games. Big leads.
He said, I'm more concerned about my turnovers. He has 12 turnovers. He said, if they're going to trust me to touch the ball almost
12 turnovers in one game?
the entire game, I can't turn it over.
Phoenix and Dallas had better regular season records. Ginobili picks up the loose to play the same exact way. Unselfish and shot.
LeBron, your handles. That's one thing. That's another mark on his career. His handles were never there. He's never had a real bag when it comes to dribbling the basketball. It's just downhill. When it comes to really dribbling the basketball, he doesn't have it.
When you take all this into account, the turnovers, the poor jump shooting, the bad fourth quarter play, combine it all into one, it's a terrible, terrible series you simply can't overlook, regardless of age or roster construction. And here's my last, final point.
You can't tell me this man's was not on steroids. I don't give a fuck. I'm not hating. Mike was clearly on steroids too. You know what I mean? A lot of players were clearly on steroids over the years. LeBron was 100% on steroids throughout his career. Stop the cap. If you're saying he wasn't, you're just blind.
Comes to great NBA Finals runs, great.
Boy came in the league and looked like a fucking brick shit house. And I think a lot of that muscle actually caused him to not be as agile out there and not be able to dribble as good. And his shooting form was off because of all the muscle. He started over here and then brought it to the middle. And then, like, when he dribbled and shit, like, I feel like if he was a little bit skinnier, he would have had better handles and shit.
playoff runs, great carry job. This run from LeBron James
Not
is
skinnier, but less muscle mass.
vastly overrated. As looking at someone like Jordan, 1989, a better overall run, top to bottom. Jordan that playoff run, 35-7-8 with 2 steals, 51% shooting. LeBron this run, 25-8-8, 2 steals on 42% shooting. And you might say LeBron James, well, he made the NBA Finals. And that's a valid point. Michael Jordan did it. But here's the thing. MJ versus the eventual champions played much better and got 2 games off them. And those champions were the Bad Boy Pistons, who won 60-plus games.
Facts.
Compared to the 07 Spurs, very, very comparable. And Jordan that series actually played fairly well. Compared to LeBron James versus the Spurs, was an absolute no-show and a net negative. What this run boils down to the Eastern Conference being so bad. As look at the East versus West, it's not even comparable.
Oh yeah, the West at this time was a tough conference, man. You had to get through so many, the Spurs, Lakers, like there were so many teams that you had to get through and to get to the fucking championship in the West. The East wasn't like that. What, you had Orlando with Matt or with fucking, you know what I mean, with Dwight Howard. You had a couple teams that were not bad. Look what happened though. Orlando beat the Cavs in 2009 and got blown out in the 2009 championship. So, like, that just shows you, like, if the Cavs would have got to the finals in 2009, they would have got blown out.
In the West wouldn't be a top 5 seed. And look at that top. The Mavericks, Spurs, and Suns. In 07, those teams were the only championship contenders, and they're all in one conference, which was not the East. And look at the best players in the league, the All-NBA players. First team, Kobe, Duncan, Nash, Dirk, and Amari.
Man, Amari Stoudemire, he was one of my favorite players to watch growing up.
Right there, all players from the West.
Especially when he had his mask and his goggles and stuff as a kid, bro. He was a beast.
Look at second team. Yao Ming, T-Mac, Bosh, Arenas, and LeBron James. Third team, Dwight, D-Wade, KG, Chauncey, and Melo. Out of the 15 All-NBA players, 9 of them came from the West. Now, the East, those 6 players, 2 of them were future LeBron teammates. So that right there is the end of the video.
Man, he breaks it. There's something about Uncut. He breaks it down really good, man. He does. He really breaks it down, goes through it, and just proves, like, look, not only like anybody with a brain and the eye test you can watch the different players over the years and see who's the better player. But people always want to talk stats. So when you break down the stats, they don't favor LeBron. They really don't. But, man, let me know what y'all think about this below, man. Make sure y'all drop any recommendations. It's Still Alive checking out. Peace out, y'all.